YouTube family, guess who's back? It's me. This is my week 62 update, post-VSG or vertical sleeve gastrectomy weight loss surgery, which I had November 30th, 2012 in Mexicali, Mexico with Dr. Aceves. So it's been a couple of weeks. I've been away on vacation. I guess I'll do the numbers. My highest weight was 460 pounds in September of 2012. My surgery day weight was 420 pounds. That was November 30th, 2012. 2 weeks ago, I weighed in at 224.5. And this morning, believe it or not, I have no idea how much I weighed because I totally forgot to weigh myself. I had a dentist appointment this morning. I had to get up, get the kids off to school, go to the dentist. Totally actually forgot to weigh myself this morning. And, you know, I always weigh in the morning only, so I felt like it wouldn't make sense for me to weigh when I got home. So I don't actually have a weigh-in number for you this week. If I had to guess, I would guess that I was up probably at least 2 or 3 pounds from my vacation, even if that's just like water weight from traveling and like eating a lot of sodium and that sort of thing. So yeah, I would guess that I'm probably up a few pounds at least, but I don't actually know. So this week's weigh-ins are going to be a question mark, and I will go ahead and weigh tomorrow, and I will update you guys next week on where I was at the beginning of the week, so after my vacation, and then obviously my Friday weight next week for week 63. So sorry if anyone was really excited about my weigh-in today, but it didn't happen. So yeah, what else has been going on? For those of you who haven't sort of been keeping up, I was on vacation on a cruise with my mom out of New York City. So that was kind of fun, and I thought I'd talk a little bit about that. But before I do that, I wanted to just do some quick shout outs. So I wanted to give a shout out to VSG Betty, my friend Jamie, who had her reconstructive plastic surgery last week, and she seems to be doing good, and she's looking great. So congrats, Jamie. And also Tony, Changing Before Your Eyes, also had her reconstructive surgery. So congrats, Tony. Glad that you're doing good. Peak's Journey had his surgery, and I want to congratulate him. I know it's been a long haul already for you, but you have been kicking butt, so I know you're going to continue to do that. Can't wait to see an update from you. And congrats to TJ from Fat Kings, who reached his goal and posted a really funny goal video. And thank you for the thank you. Also, a shout out to my hubby, Will. Will was on Fat Kings. He was the guest last week on Thursday, which was really sort of fun. And he also, I've told you guys about the +1 crew. That is the Facebook group that was started by Jenny Brownfield, and which is TJ's wife. John O'Rourke, who's VSG Tanya's husband, and Will was sort of involved in that as well. And as I guess kind of an add-on to that, he finally caved to pressure to start a YouTube channel, a MoreOfWill YouTube channel. He's actually put up a couple videos, so I'm going to put a link below, both to the +1 crew, which is a Facebook support group for spouses and other people who are related to weight loss surgery patients, but not for WLS patients. So if you ask to be added and you are a weight loss surgery patient, you will be denied. And that's just to keep the integrity of the group and allow people to sort of talk about stuff without feeling like they're getting spied on by people in the community. And yeah, so I'll put a link to Will's channel as well below. And the channel is kind of, you know, I guess in tandem with the +1 crew Facebook group, and he's going to be talking about what it's like to be the spouse of a weight loss surgery patient and some of the things that he's dealt with. And I've kind of given him permission and carte blanche to talk about whatever on his channel, so that should keep things interesting. So yeah, I wanted to do those shout outs. Also, I should say, while I was in New York, you guys might have seen, if you follow VSG Bobby, and I'll put a link to his video below. There's going to be lots of links in this video. I'll put a link to VSG Bobby's channel, but I actually got a chance to have coffee with VSG Bobby and also Spring Bishop, who also has a YouTube channel. And I had a chance to have coffee with them while I was in New York. I went to Starbucks, of course. I got to hang out for a few hours, just talked about weight loss surgery stuff and all kinds of stuff. It was really fun. And so I was thankful that I had the opportunity to hang out with them. I love getting to meet other weight loss surgery patients, and they were a blast. They're both awesome. So thanks, Bobby and Spring. I had such a great time with you guys. So hopefully we can do it again sometime. Bobby, I know you're coming to Tampa, so I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Although, you know, he might be taken by then. I'm just saying there's something going on. I don't want to say, Lauren, you know, Bobby. Just saying. But I love both of you, and that would be totally cute. I'm down with it. I don't, you know, I'm kind of a little too old and married to rob that ginger cradle. Otherwise, I totally would. Just saying. Anyway, speaking of cruises, again, before I talk about my cruise that I just came off of, I just made our final payment for the WLSFA cruise and conference in Tampa. I'm not sure, to be honest, what the situation is. I don't know if you can still book the cruise or not. I'm guessing you probably can. I know you can definitely still book the conference. It's going to be a good time. Lots of people from YT are going to be going. I might get a little crazy. Who knows? I'm really looking forward to it. And so I thought I would mention it just in case. I know there are still people out there who haven't actually heard about it somehow. So I thought I'd mention it again. Is it April yet? Just saying. Okay, so let me talk about the cruise that I just came off of. It was good. You know, mental health update. I've still been having some anxiety issues. I think my mood in general has improved since I started taking medication, but my anxiety has, I don't know if that part of it has kicked in yet. It does take a few weeks for the full effect to happen. So, yeah, you know, I was still struggling with that a little bit while we were on the ship, but it wasn't as bad as it has been. It was really relaxing. I was with my mom, so there was no like crazy partying, but it was very relaxing. I read a couple of good books. I'm going to actually on Tuesday probably talk about a book that I read while I was on vacation that I was really looking forward to reading, which has to do with weight loss, eating, and all that sort of stuff. And I wanted to kind of make a separate video and do a review of that book because I actually found it to be one of the better books that I've read recently. So I'm going to share that with you guys on Tuesday. But yeah, I mean, the cruise was fun. Eating wise, it was very much like the cruise that we were on in October, at the end of October. So I'm not going to recap like how I ate and all that because really it was very similar. So you can go back and watch the recap of that from November. But I did maybe indulge a little bit more than I did on that last cruise. I think I probably had like at least one sugar-free dessert every day, whether that was at lunch or at dinner. And there might have been a day or two that I actually had dessert at lunch and dinner. And, you know, we all know sugar-free desserts are sugar-free. They're not calorie-free. So, I mean, there were still carbs and still all that stuff in there. So, that's not necessarily a pass, but I just, I do still crave those things, to be honest. And so if it was something that I really liked, I ate it. But it definitely, again, you know, was in moderation and very different than how I would have eaten before, and always, you know, protein first and all of that at every other meal. So I didn't feel too bad about that. I didn't really drink. I think one day I had a couple of drinks when we were in port in Nassau, and I had a couple of drinks one day. Carnival has a past guest party and they give you free booze. So I was like, ooh, it's free. So I had a couple of drinks there, but that's about it. There wasn't a lot of partying. I was with my mom. So that aspect of it was cool. I guess it's interesting. I think every vacation or whatever that I've been on lately has sort of taught me something different and sort of brought up different things for me at a different point. I guess just the different points of my journey. And, the food thing I felt was like not a big deal. I was, you know, in control of that. Having just been on a Carnival cruise, I know the type of things that they have at like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So those choices were really easy for me. What I felt like I struggled with a bit on this cruise was people's reactions to me and how they treated me. and there was nothing negative. It wasn't like I was treated badly or that I felt like people treated me that differently. But I think maybe my reactions were a bit different. I felt pretty good about how I looked, in the sense of, you know, I actually brought a bunch of dresses with me. So every night, pretty much every night, I wore a dress or something cute for dinner. There were a couple of times I felt pretty sassy in what I was wearing. I wore a couple of short dresses, like, and for me, shorts, like, you know, 3 inches above the knee, but like, I wouldn't wear a dress before at all. So the fact that I would show my legs in any capacity is a big deal for me. I felt a lot more comfortable in my bathing suit, you know, showing my arms and that sort of thing at the beach. I didn't feel comfortable, but I felt more comfortable than I had before. I don't know why that is, but I guess just kind of getting used to it and owning it as much as I can. But yeah, there were definitely times when I looked in the mirror and thought, you know what, I don't look bad. But what I noticed, and what, I don't know that I would say it bothered me, but I noticed it and it was kind of a little uncomfortable, was that I noticed people staring at me or looking at me. And obviously people stared at me when I weighed 460 pounds. I think in a lot of ways I ignored it and tried to pretend. It wasn't that I didn't see it, but I tried not to notice it. I don't know. I don't know if that's like just being in denial or just trying to protect myself, but I really didn't. I wasn't looking at who was looking at me. And I don't know that I was looking for it this time, but I just noticed, I think just because I was more conscious of how I looked and that sort of thing. And that's obviously thousands of people on this ship. I felt like people were looking at me. And I don't know that that was a negative thing. Didn't necessarily feel that they were judgmentally looking at me. But I couldn't figure out why they were looking at me. You know, it was women and men. It wasn't, I didn't necessarily feel like the men were checking me out, although maybe some of them were, I don't know. Maybe it was just that I carried myself differently. I had a couple of people comment on, one woman said to me, I love the way you just walked in the room there. You just looked like a supermodel. You just sashayed, you know, and I was like, okay. I don't know if I've been carrying myself differently, and obviously I'm tall, I'm 5'10", I wear heels a lot, so sometimes it can be hard probably not to look at me because I'm still fairly big. I'm still like a size 16, I'm 5'10", in heels I'm like 6 feet, 6'1", so maybe that's what people were noticing. Sometimes it's my hair. I get a lot of comments on my hair. I don't think it's anything special, but like I got a lot of comments on my hair and the color of my hair, and so I don't know. I don't know what it was, but, and it didn't necessarily feel negative about it, but it did make me feel really self-conscious. And it just was something that I noticed that I hadn't really noticed before. So yeah, I mean, I just thought I would mention that because I don't know if anybody's had that experience and kind of felt self-conscious about it. It didn't necessarily make me feel bad about myself, and I didn't see it as a negative thing exactly, but it was a bit confusing for me, and it did kind of make me really conscious of how I looked and all that stuff. So I don't know that there were any big NSVs necessarily on this trip, but one thing that was kind of cool was I've done this before on other ships, but Carnival has what they call Carnival Legends, which is a passenger show where there are 10 passengers that do a set number of songs. So you have to sing live in the show. It's not like karaoke. There's no words. There's a band, there's a backing track. You have to sing live as a particular artist. And in this show, I was Cher. And they have costumes, and I was really kind of nervous about what the Cher costume was going to be and how revealing it was going to be, and also whether there was any way it was going to fit. And the costume was marked as a large, and it was a dress and a leather jacket. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not a large. But you know what? It totally fit. And so that was an NSV for me, because before doing those shows, I used to have to wear my own clothes because the costumes never fit. So just for your pleasure and mine, I will actually upload the video of me singing If I Could Turn Back Time as Cher on the ship after this video. So that's about it for today. I have a couple other things I might want to talk about, so I may make a video later this weekend, not sure. But until then, always remember, it's not just about what you've lost, it's about what you've gained. Have a great weekend.